Hi, welcome again to Love of Writing. I am going to talk today about it's kind of sentence structure, and I'm just going to use one example because it's pretty complex. So let's get started. Okay, I ran across a sentence recently, using paper this time. Ran across a sentence recently that was long, which there's no crime in a long sentence, but it kind of became a little cumbersome at a point. So I'm gonna show it to you and read it to you as well. Okay. Sasha removed the name badge. This is how it appeared to me. Okay. But I changed some things, so it's not the original, but it's got the same sentence structure. So Sasha removed the name badge that identified her as a waitress at Clem's Gravy Bowl, my brothers would eat there, named Libby Clark, from her purse and clipped it to her flowered apron. There's nothing wrong with a long sentence, but at a certain point, as I read it, or at least a version of the sentence with the same elements, I started getting I started stumbling over part of it, especially when it said, identified her as a waitress at Clem's Gravy Bowl, named Libby Clark. Wait, is Libby Clark named the Gravy Bowl? Or, you know what I mean? There were things that were starting to trip me up, and then also removed or Libby Clark from her purse and clipped it. So there are things that for me I started stumbling because what was removed from her purse? The name badge. Who was Libby Clark? Sasha. So some of these elements to me help make the reader stumble instead of trying to understand what the sentence is saying. Now clearly we can see that Sasha is going by a fake name, Libby Clark. She's posing perhaps as a waitress at this Clem's Gravy Bowl, and the name badge is identifying her. So the name badge is actually the main subject of the sentence. So that's the important element because the name badge is identifying this person as someone else who is working as a waitress at Clem's Gravy Bowl. And where did she get the name? Where did she pull the name tag from? She pulled it from her purse, and then what did she do with it? She clipped it onto her apron. So we're actually going to put this into sections that are related to each other that will help us to make this sentence become clearer, have better flow, and improve comprehension. So exciting. So the first part is, okay, Sasha removed the name badge. We're going to put a slash right there. That's the first thing. Sasha removed the name badge. Okay, and that identified her as, it did identify her sort of as the waitress, but it really identified her as Libby Clark. So, let's see, Libby Clark is going to have its own little section. So the next space or slash goes there, or right here, identifying Libby Clark. So I'll put the slash over here because I'm putting on both sides. There's two slashes, but whatever. And then the last section is going to be right after purse because from her purse, that's telling where the name badge originated, where she removed it. So now we've got sections. What I'm going to do is color code them so that you can tell what section goes with the other section so that we can rework this sentence. Okay, so I'm going to just highlight them. So Sasha removed the name badge is actually going to go with from her purse because that's where she removed it. That's super important that the name bag came from the purse. I'm trying to go fast because I'm almost out of time. So she was a waitress at Clem's Gravy Bowl. And then clipped it to her flowered apron. That's going to be both pink. And I'll show you why in just a sec, okay? The next one is that identified her as. And who did she identify her as? Libby Clark. So Libby Clark is yellow, as is identified her as. So to grab these sections of the sentence, we're going to pair them up and rework the sentence so that it makes sense. So I'm putting all the sections together. So the green parts, the pink parts, the yellow parts are going together. So to me, and there's a few other ways you can rework the sentence to make it flow better and to help with comprehension. But this is one way that I did it. Sasha removed from her purse the name badge. That's a little weird, but anyway, Sasha removed from her purse the name badge that identified her as Libby Clark, waitress at Clem's Gravy Bowl, and clipped it to her flowered apron. So there's a couple other ways you can do it too. You are going to be tempted to do this. Sasha removed the name badge from her purse, but don't do it. Resist. Because Sasha removed the name badge from her purse that identified her. No, the purse did not identify her. The name badge identified her. So that's why from her purse can't go there, because the name badge is identifying her, not the purse. So that's why I did it this way. Sasha removed from her purse the name badge. I could also have done from her purse, comma, Sasha removed the name badge. That's a whole lot of little comma clauses in one sentence. But I mean, it still works. You could do it either way. But yeah, this one to me has been a super fun one. So work those clauses so that they communicate with each other. In the original sentence, you could see that there were gaps and places for the reader to stumble, which is what you do not want. So I hope you have questions about this one. I love this one. So let me know what else you want to hear about or learn about or discuss, or if you have thoughts or things that freak you out as a writer or that you just want to talk about. I want to hear what you're thinking.